Hello students, today let us discuss about reduction of metal oxide to metal. As you all know, isolation of metal from its oxides involves two sub-steps. They are conversion to metal oxide and reduction of metal oxide to metal. Conversion to metal oxide we discussed in the previous session. So today's session we will discuss about reduction of metal oxide to metal. The most electropositive elements like alkali metals, alkaline earth metals and aluminium are extracted by electrometallurgical process, that is through electrolysis. For example, aluminium is extracted by electrolysis process. The extraction of aluminium by Hall-Héroult process. This process is done by electrolysis. The noble metals like silver and gold, they are extracted by hydrometallurgical process. That means through the solvent. By using suitable solvent, we can extract gold and silver. The other elements are extracted by pyrometallurgical process. Pyro means very high temperature. We have to maintain very high temperature to extract some of the metals. To reduce the temperature, reducing agents are used. The reducing agents used are coke, carbon monoxide or any other suitable metal. I will write the general equation of reduction of metal oxide to metal, MxOy. This is the general formula of metal oxide. This metal oxide is reduced by coke. I will use 5 moles of coke. Coke reduces metal oxide to metal and coke is oxidized to carbon monoxide. X moles of the metal is formed and Y moles of carbon monoxide is formed. Now here metal oxide is reduced to metal and coke is oxidized to carbon monoxide. Therefore, in the metallurgical transformations, two processes taking place. They are oxidation of the reducing agent and reduction of the metal oxide. To understand these metallurgical transformations, we have to recall thermodynamic equations that you studied in last year. The first thermodynamic equation, that is delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. This equation is called Gibbs free energy equation. In this equation, delta G means change in the free energy of the system. Delta H means change in the enthalpy of the system. Delta S means change in the entropy of the system. And T is the temperature. And also we can use another expression, delta G naught is equal to minus RT ln K, where delta G naught means standard free energy change. R means universal gas constant and K is the equilibrium constant for the reactant product system for a temperature T. Now to consider this reduction of metal oxide to metal, I will take this Gibbs free energy equation. If the delta G value is negative, then the reaction is spontaneous. That means the reaction will take place spontaneously. As it is, if the delta G value is negative, then that reaction is possible and that reaction will proceed. The another possibility is there here. T delta S value is greater than delta H, then delta G value becomes negative and then that reaction is also become spontaneous. and the reaction is possible. Say in the metallurgy, now we have to select the reducing agent for the reduction of metal oxide. For the reduction of metal oxides, we have to consider another concept called Ellingham diagram. Ellingham diagram is a plot of standard free energy change as a function of temperature for the formation of various metal oxides or sulfides or chlorides, etc. But here we are using the formation of metal oxides as an example because we are reducing metal oxide to metal. So we will take the formation of metal oxide as an example, and I will define this Ellingham diagram by taking formation of metal oxide. So Ellingham diagram is defined as, it is a variation of standard free energy change as a function of temperature for the formation of various metal oxides. Now I will draw the Ellingham diagram for the formation of magnesium oxide. See, this is the Ellingham diagram for the formation of magnesium oxide. Magnesium combines with oxygen giving rise to magnesium oxide. For balancing, 2 MgO, 2 Mg. Next one, the Ellingham diagram for the formation of aluminium oxide. Aluminium reacts with oxygen giving rise to aluminium oxide. The formula of aluminium oxide is Al2O3. Now for balancing, 3/2, 4/3. The next Ellingham diagram for the formation of zinc oxide. Zn plus oxygen giving rise to ZnO, 2ZnO, 2Zn. The next Ellingham diagram for the formation of carbon dioxide from carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide reacts with oxygen giving rise to carbon dioxide, 2CO. This is the Ellingham diagram for the formation of ferrous oxide, 2FeO, 2Fe. The next one, the Ellingham diagram for the formation of carbon dioxide from coke, C plus O2 giving rise to carbon dioxide. The next one, the Ellingham diagram for the formation of carbon monoxide from coke. Coke reacts with oxygen giving rise to carbon monoxide, and this is the Ellingham diagram for the formation of cuprous oxide, C plus O2 giving rise to Cu2O, 2U2. And another one, this is the Ellingham diagram for the formation of silver oxide, (4Ag). This is the Ellingham diagram. Now we have to study the silent features of this Ellingham diagram. The first silent feature, observe the Ellingham diagram. As the temperature increases, delta G naught value is also increases. So graph is a straight line with upward slope. Why this is? See, I will write the formation of magnesium oxide here. Magnesium reacts with oxygen giving rise to magnesium oxide 2Mg, 2MgO. See here, magnesium is in the solid state, oxygen is in the gaseous state, and magnesium oxide formed in the solid state. So we have to calculate the number of moles of gaseous reactants and number of moles of gaseous products. Number of moles of gaseous reactants is 1. Number of moles of gaseous products is 0. Therefore, in this reaction, delta S value is negative. Delta S means change in the entropy of the system. That is the difference between the entropy of the gaseous products minus entropy of the gaseous reactants. Here, the entropy is negative. Therefore, as the temperature increases, delta G naught value is also increases. Therefore, graph is a straight line with upward slope. Same thing we can apply for all the other graphs. But here you can see here, formation of carbon monoxide from coke. It is an exception one. See, as the temperature increases, delta G naught value decreases. This is because, say, coke reacts with oxygen giving rise to carbon monoxide. For balancing this reaction, 2CO, 2C, coke is in the solid state, oxygen is in the gaseous state, carbon monoxide is also in the gaseous state. So the number of moles of gaseous products is 2, the number of moles of gaseous reactants is 1. Therefore, in this reaction, delta S value is positive, 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1. So, here the graph is a straight line, but it has a downward slope. That is the first feature. I will repeat the first feature. As the temperature increases, delta G naught value is also increases. Therefore, graph is a straight line with upward slope, like this way. This type of slope is called upward slope. And if the slope is downwards, then it is called downward slope. The second feature, you consider the Ellingham diagram for the formation of magnesium oxide and zinc oxide. This one. In this graph, you can see there is a sudden change in the slope of the graph. This is because there is a phase transformation takes place. Solid is converted into liquid. This is the melting point of magnesium. Solid magnesium is converted into liquid magnesium. Therefore, entropy change takes place. Therefore, there is a sudden change in the slope of the graph is observed after the melting point. The next one, if the graph crosses the zero line, then delta G naught value becomes positive. And if the delta G naught value is positive, then such metal oxide readily decomposes to give your respective metal. For example, here you take the formation of silver oxide. Relatively lower temperature, the Ellingham diagram for the formation of silver oxide crosses the zero line. That means relatively higher temperature, silver oxide can be reduced to silver without using any other reducing agent. Silver oxide itself decomposes to silver by heating itself. The fourth silent feature is the very important one that we will use in the metallurgical transformations. Those metals with lower value of standard free energy change can reduce the metal oxide with higher value of standard free energy change for its formation. To explain this, I will take the formation of magnesium oxide and formation of aluminium oxide as an example. Here in this graph you can see a point of intersection. That point of intersection I will label it as A. Say below the point of intersection temperature, and the temperature if you want I will write, that is 1350 degrees Celsius. Below 1350 degrees Celsius, see this magnesium oxide graph is below and aluminium oxide graph is above. That means the delta G naught value for the formation of magnesium oxide is less than delta G naught value for the formation of this aluminium oxide. So, below the point of intersection temperature, magnesium can reduce aluminium oxide to aluminium. Now, consider the above the point of intersection temperature. See here, this aluminium oxide graph is below and formation of magnesium oxide graph is above. That means above point of intersection temperature, that is 1350 degrees Celsius, the formation of aluminium oxide is more feasible. That means delta G naught value is less. Therefore, aluminium can be easily oxidized to aluminium oxide. Therefore, for the reduction of magnesium oxide, we can use this aluminium as a reducing agent. So, I will repeat the statement once again. Those metal with the lower value of standard free energy change can reduce the metal oxide with higher value of standard free energy change for the formation of respective oxides. The last one, by using this Ellingham diagram, it is possible to predict the delta G naught value of formation of various metal oxides at the different temperature conditions. At this point, at this point we can predict the delta G naught value for the formation of aluminium oxide. And also this Ellingham diagram is drawn by using this box. This is because in the right side, partial pressure of oxygen is considered. Partial pressure of oxygen is taken, and if you extend this graph, then we can predict the partial pressure of oxygen at equilibrium conditions. See, this Ellingham diagram is drawn under equilibrium conditions. If you extend the graph, you will get the partial pressure of oxygen at equilibrium condition, and by using this we can say whether the metal is converted into metal oxide or metal oxide is reduced to metal. See, by extending the graph we will get the partial pressure of the metal oxide at equilibrium conditions. Now, if our lab pressure or system pressure is greater than that, then metal is oxidized to respective metal. If the lab pressure or the system pressure is less than the equilibrium pressure, then the metal oxide will reduce to metals. These are the 5 silent features of Ellingham diagram. Thank you.